Today on AMR, Comcast announced that it's moving forward with its $7 billion plan to spin off its NBC Universal cable TV networks like MSNBC, acknowledging that it's better off without a business that it once crowned jewel. Chris Wallace leaving CNN after his 3-year contract at the network to be an independent podcaster, and MSNBC's Rachel Maddow trending over on X due to an edited video of her having a tearful meltdown. We'll tell you why. I'm Anthony Martinez, and here's my report. Welcome back to AMR. Comcast announced that it's planned to spin off most of its cable television networks into a separate publicly traded company. The new company, which will be called SpinCo, very creative of them, will include the USA Network, CNBC, MSNBC, Oxygen, E, Sci-Fi, and the Golf Channel. Comcast will retain key NBC Universal assets, including the NBC Broadcasting Network, NBC News, NBC Sports, and the streaming platform Peacock and the cable channel Bravo. The new company will be led by Mark Lazar, chairman of NBC Universal's media group. So what does this mean for MSNBC, which is very known for their left and anti-Trump political coverage, and how will the ratings do, especially now with the decline after the 2024 election? Here's what Morning Joe said after the news broke of its parent company spinning off the channels.
That's Comcast, which owns our parent company NBC Universal, plans to spin off its cable TV networks. That's according to the Wall Street Journal and people familiar with the situation. The company will separate off entertainment and news channels, including MSNBC, CNBC, USA, Oxygen, E, Sci-Fi, and the Golf Channel.
So it's spinning off.
The new cable venture will reportedly have an ownership structure that mirrors Comcast's. Comcast spokesperson declined to comment.
So Willie, as you look at the screen right there, the big concern that stockholders right now on Wall Street are wondering about before they decide what to do with Comcast shares is whether Mika is going to have to give up her penthouse perch atop the Comcast
First
building.
Thought I had
Since
to,
I
what
never
happens
had it.
to the penthouse? When are we going to get invited to the penthouse?
Never. They never let up. I will say really quickly on this, you know, a Drudge at the top said, oh, like news meltdown, all this other stuff. I mean, I could be completely wrong. We could all be fired a year from now or whenever this happens. You never know what's going to happen.
Or tomorrow.
Nothing will change right away. The spinoff is valued at $7 billion, but isn't expected to be completed for about a year or so. Many things are unclear, though. NBC News, which is the sister network, reports whether the cable news channels will have the network's core news division and will continue to share editorial resources. The New York Post reports that stars of the network like Rachel Maddow, Chris Jennings, and Katie Tur joined an intense meeting led by the NBCU chairman who will lead the new company. Staffers who are fearing layoffs questioned in that meeting whether the network would need to change its logo, name, and headquarters and remove the iconic Peacock logo. If this would happen, it would require a massive promotional campaign to gain its current audience and new ones, and maybe that will force them to move into a different direction. It's not the first time NBC has thought of renaming the network after it bought out Microsoft's share of the network in 2005. If you didn't know, Microsoft was the MS and MSNBC. The plan was rejected because the name was already part of the TV news culture. Everybody knew what MSNBC was, who the stars were, and what kind of news they provided. The spin-off can also affect the star's salary. One of an example that we're seeing now, not sure if this is related to the spin-off, but is an example of what could happen with the spin-off, is that in 2021, Maddow signed a massive deal paying her a reportedly $30 million a year. Now, new reports say that she will be getting a $5 million cut in her new contract. MSNBC and CNN have been on a rating decline after the election, but Fox News has been going up. Now we will see how the network will do with its rating. Will it go up soon? Will it take a while? Will the spin-off of the network moving to a different company help the ratings go up? We'll have to see and wait what happens. but it definitely wasn't good for ratings for the network after the election. Chris Wallace is leaving and quitting CNN after 3 years. He said that he will instead find a new home on an independent platform such as a streaming or podcasting. Who knows, if you want to join us, Chris. Open invitation. The decision by him to walk off the network at the end of his 3-year contract and 7-figure contract was surprising for many, but also not surprising for many, because we're seeing this shift in mainstream media of people wanting more independent podcasts or trusting independent podcasters compared to major news networks, whether it's Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and those networks. CNN wanted to keep Wallace but decided to quit ahead of his contract. CNN CEO Chairman Mark Thompson said in a statement that Chris Wallace is one of the most respected political journalists in the news business, with a unique track record across radio, print, broadcast television, cable television, and streaming. We want to thank him for the dedication and wisdom he brought to all of his work at CNN and to wish him the very best for the future. Him moving to be an independent journalist, whether it's podcasting or whatever he does, is not fully unknown. Former Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson both have very successful podcast shows under their name as independent journalists now. And again, a lot is changing with mainstream media. Many are not watching. Many are just don't have cable or don't have the need to watch hour-long episodes of television news, and a lot of it's just very political. And people, there's a lot of people who don't want political news. They just want straightforward news. And that's why they're trusting a lot more independent journalists and those who have their own podcasts. Although there's a lot of podcasts who are very political in one way or another. But there's a big shift in media. I don't think network television is going to die in any time, but it's definitely not going to grow from where it's at right now. Lastly, Elon Musk is teasing the possibility of purchasing the news channel MSNBC that comes after the Comcast spinoff. But it was just a matter of time before X supporters began pulling and suggesting that the network stars are freaking out and they're in a freak out mode after Musk suggested the purchase. Musk shared a meme about him suggesting the temptation of buying MSNBC, and a short clip of MSNBC's host Rachel Maddow supposedly holding back tears over Musk's tweet quickly went viral on social media. But for those who didn't know, no, Maddow was not breaking down and getting emotional on the air over Musk joking about being her new boss. Just take a look.
Hold on. To at least 3. Can we put up the graphic of this? I think I'm gonna have to hand this off. Yeah. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. Now.
I mean, looking at the video, it's obviously edited. I mean, if anybody could not tell, with the community notes that we're posting, how it was altered, and she was crying about another more serious situation. But if people really, really believe it, I don't know where they're at. I know people who are just believing it as a joke or fully know that it's not true. But look, I mean, it's blatantly obvious it was edited. The graphics don't match up. I mean, at the first clip when Maddow is crying, the graphics from the video are from 2018, 2019, the older graphics. And then when it goes to the next clip, it shows the newer graphics, but it also shows graphics from a different show, Alex Wagner Tonight, the colors and everything. So, I mean, as a person who pays attention a lot to the graphical errors and stuff on television and videos and stuff, it was blatantly obvious. And also how the text that covered the original text was edited in and continued to the next clip did not match up. I mean, people were just poking at the idea that if Musk actually would go by the network, it definitely wouldn't. He would fire every anchor on the network. You wouldn't be surprised at that, right? But I don't see Elon Musk actually buying the network. I don't see Comcast, SpinCo company selling the network. It's just all coming at the at the time of where MSNBC and CNN are a very heated place with a lot of Americans who don't trust them anymore, or they don't trust their views, they don't trust where they stand right now. But I don't know. We'll see what happens if Elon Musk actually buys the network. We'll have to see what actually happens to that network, because it's definitely not staying the same. It's definitely not staying the same, especially it could switch over to a very conservative network and have all fresh new anchors, but who knows? For now, it's just gonna be a spin-off. It's gonna be spin-off to a different company, and maybe if Elon Musk does buy it, it does turn into what X is. That will do it for today's show. Have a good Thanksgiving week, and I'll talk to y'all soon for another report. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, share the video. And if you want more content, follow us on social media at _RightNowNews, or follow me directly at Tony Martinez Now. Anthony Martinez Reports is a Right Now News signature production, copyright 2025, Right Now News.